Got it. Okay, guys, so thanks for getting on. I have some really awesome information for you from Kristina Delgado. If you're not familiar with her, she is a coach that lives in Florida. She's been in this business for, I think, almost 7 years. She retired from her full-time career as a lawyer to be a full-time Beachbody coach in, I want to say 2000, late 14 or early 15. I remember her doing that, but I don't remember when it was. But before, she was in the business for a while before she replaced her income and was able to retire as a lawyer. And I absolutely love her style. She's a red personality, if you're familiar with the personalities. She is no sugarcoating, just give it to you straight kind of girl, and I appreciate that about her. She is also in this business with her younger sister, Becky, and they have like a team called Diesel Nation together, and they've both retired from their full-time jobs. They just do coaching. They both are $1 million earners in Beachbody. So if you don't follow Becky Bergala Brosette or Kristina Delgado, Kristina spelled Kristina, definitely look them up because they are really great coaches to follow. But she did a talk, and this is a brand new talk, for Melanie and some other coaches, some other leaders, on how to attract quality coaches. And I know that this is something that we all struggle with. So I'm going to teach you what she taught me, which was how to get better at flexing your leadership muscles. So in other words, we want to attract high quality coaches, and we want to know, how do we find coaches that are like us, that want to work the business. So I want to know, you can use the chat box or whatever, but either by raising your hand or in the chat, tell me if you've ever thought, how do you find coaches that work the business? Have you ever been frustrated about it? Have you ever cried about it? Have you ever wondered, where do they find all these amazing coaches? I know I personally have. So whenever I saw this call topic, I was like, yes, sign me up. I can't wait to hear about it. So she said, as a leader in this business and a really successful coach, she even has seasons in her business where she feels that way. So she said at the beginning of the talk, and I'll tell you now, this isn't going to be like, oh, I have the secret formula to give you that will make you always find just business building coaches. So don't think that. But she says you're not just going to have a formula where you only attract business builders. You're always going to be attracting just discount coaches and challengers. But what I'm about to teach you will help you increase your chances of finding business builders. So she said her formula now gets her about every 1 in 4 that she signs up end up becoming business builders. So that's really good. I mean, I probably have a ratio of like 1 in 20 that become business builders, and hers is down to 1 in 4. So we can all use this information. So she wanted to remind everyone that you have to still stay in phase 1. So when Carl Deichler, our CEO, saw her topic, he got a little nervous. He was like, wait a minute, we can't just be attracting business builders. Remember, our mission is to help people lead healthy and fulfilling lives. That is still always our mission. You always have to stay in phase 1 in your business. You always have to be helping people get started on their journey. So don't confuse that with this, but this is on top of that. So she said that some of her best coaches have been challengers that got amazing results and loved it. So don't think that you can't find successful coaches in your challenge groups, because you absolutely can. But she said, do you want coaches that just want to hit Success Club naturally? Do you want coaches that want to advance and rank without you pulling teeth, without you pushing them? Like, of course, that's what we all want, right? So she said her mission is to have amazing customers and rocking coaches. So that's kind of the theme of tonight's call. But we're going to focus primarily on how to get those coaches. So something to point out first is that you understand, I don't know if you're familiar with building your avatar. If you've never done that, you definitely want to take some time to sit down and do that. And that is like your ideal customer. You sit down and you design a person, which we call an avatar. You name them. You describe their age. You describe their profession. Who is your ideal customer? Who is the person that you are wanting to work with? And then you craft your posts as if you're targeting that person. So it's very easy to craft your post when you know who you're talking to versus just like talking to a generic audience, right? When you're specifically talking to someone, it's easier to craft a post. Well, she says that this is the same thing, except for now you need to build an avatar for leadership qualities. So you're not building an avatar for the kind of people or customers you want to work with. Now you're building an avatar for the leadership qualities that you want to have in your business. So the first step is to identify who you are. So we're not talking about anyone else right now. We're just talking about you. Define your brand. If you don't have a brand, you have to start there. So what is your brand? Your brand is who you're marketing to. It's you. It's what you emulate. It's what you express. Everybody's different. For me, currently, my brand is very fitness oriented because I'm training for a fitness competition. But on the norm, my brand is just busy moms that need to find time in their day to make time for them. And I have to show them that that's possible. Sometimes your brand might be not so fitness oriented, but more so that you work out so that you can eat things that you love. And that's totally fine. So you're not really fitness oriented. Then you might be like a hardcore fitness guru and most of your customers are going to be really hardcore too. But whatever you are is what you're going to attract. So you need to know what your brand is. So that's the first step, is identify who you are. And then you'll know your brand. And you can develop ways to share your story to find areas of influence, okay? After you know who you are, then I want you to identify your audience. So I want you to describe your ideal customer. No, I'm sorry, your ideal coach, your ideal prospect. Think about who you want to attract as a coach in this business. Then you need to focus your efforts where you're going to have the most impact. I'll go into that more. And finally, you want to know, ask yourself, am I sharing or am I selling? Am I sharing or am I selling? So keep in mind that facts tell and stories sell. Facts tell and stories sell. So in order to be successful, we don't need to just throw out all this information about Shakeology and why these workout programs are successful and all the science behind them. That doesn't matter, really, honestly. You're going to develop trust in your audience by telling stories of you and your customers and the success that they're having. That's how you're going to build trust. And how do you do that? By sharing solid content every single day. Once you do that and you've been consistent for a while, then you can ask your audience for their business. So once they know they can trust you, then they have no problem asking or, giving you their business because they trust you and they want to see you be successful because they've developed a rapport with you. So I want you to write these answers down to this next part. I need to ask you some questions. And you don't have to do this now. You can do this on the recording or whatever. But first I want to know, number one, who are you? Who are you? Not who your ideal customer is, but who are you? What are your leadership qualities? What do you bring to the table as a coach as far as leadership? Think about it for a minute. I know it's not as easy for some people to talk about themselves, but think about who you are as a coach. What leadership qualities do you have? Then I want you to write down number two, who do you want to attract? In other words, this is your tribe, okay? The team you're about to build is your tribe. Think about your ideal coach. If you close your eyes for a second, what characteristics does that ideal coach possess? So that might take a while for you to come up with, but your tribe is simply this. It's a group of people that are connected to one another, that are connected to a leader, which happens to be you, and they're connected to an idea. That is the idea of a tribe. So again, it's a group of people connected to a leader that are connected to an idea, and we know what that is. So if you sit down and you do this, number one, who are you and what are your leadership qualities? Number two, what types of qualities do you want to attract, then that's sitting down and basically building your leadership profile. If you take 15 to 20 minutes to do that exercise after this call, and then implement and start targeting your posts towards those qualities, you'll see a huge change in your business. So I want you to use the chat for a minute, and I want to know what you bring to the table. Everybody's going to have different answers here. But so type in number 1 and number 2. You can have more than one for each. 1, what are your key leadership qualities? And number 2, what kinds of qualities do you want to attract in coaches that you want to join your team? So you can type them in the chat box. What are your leadership qualities? And then what are qualities you want to see in a coach that you want to join your team? I'll jot some down. You can go ahead and do the same. So some of the things that we have so far are, we want self-motivated people, independent people, diligent, driven, caring people, self-starters, someone that refuses to quit, good, that won't give up. Exactly. These are all qualities that we're looking for. We want organization. We want coaches, again, that won't give up no matter what. We want the self-starters. Do you see a theme here? I see a theme for sure. So look at those words. Look at them carefully. Let them sink in. This is who you want to attract into your business. This shows me that you know who you want to be attracting and what qualities we need in this business. So out of all the things listed in the group chat, keep in mind that every single one of those, if you don't have them, they can be learned. Like, leadership isn't a born thing. In other words, you don't go into the delivery room and the doctor says it's a boy, it's a girl. He doesn't say it's a leader, right? He doesn't do that. It's not, you're not born with these qualities, but like, we're all born the same, but leadership is developed. So the people that are taking time to study leadership, that are taking time to make mistakes and to learn from them, that are investing in themselves, that are learning from people that have gone before them, those are the people that are developing their leadership skills and getting better at all those things we listed in the chat. And that is how you grow your own leadership qualities. So even if you're not any of those things right now, you can change that. That's the beauty of this. That's why anyone can be a successful Beachbody coach. If I got, like, I know something I personally need to get better at is, like, really emphasizing, especially in my sneak peek, that I want anyone on my team. I want every gender, every race, every nationality, every sexual orientation. Like, I don't want to discriminate at all. I want my team to be made up of a family of all different varieties, you know, because that means that, like, from now on, I'm going to set that tone in my sneak peeks. That way, the people that are, like, very discriminatory won't want to be on my team, right? I don't want them on my team. I want to weed them out before they even join. So I just want my team to be made up of all walks of life. And so, again, you can build any of these qualities too. It just takes a conscious effort. So I personally know I have so much more to learn in terms of leadership. But I do know that ever since I decided to really make this a business and to really take it seriously, and when I said, okay, I'm doing this, which was a few months into the business, I had to learn and understand how to motivate other people to do things. And that wasn't something that anyone taught me in high school or college. No one taught a course on how do you motivate other people to do what you want them to do. That's not a course that they teach, right? So through trial and error and failing forward, and falling down and getting back up again and just refusing to quit, here I am. And I've improved in my leadership. Again, I still have a long ways to go. So I want to share my screen with you and show you what Kristina Delgado described as key leadership qualities that we need coaches to have in this business if they're going to be successful. So just give me 1 sec, I'll pull it up. Found it. And share my screen. Sorry, I have about 75 windows open. But let's see if I can zoom in. These are the qualities, and it might be a little blurry, and I can send this out afterwards, so don't worry about writing it down. But these are the key leadership qualities that Kristina described as important in this business. So let's go through them. Clear vision. You want someone that has and can see vision. They can see the future. They can look ahead for 1 year and 5 years down the road and know where they're going and then take action every day to get there. We want people that are passionate about a cause. So you need to start thinking of this business as a movement, not just a means for weight loss. Like, this isn't just shakes and workouts. Like, we are actually working for a cause. We're working to end the trend of obesity. We are working to save families from a future in heart disease and high blood pressure. And like, you have the power to change that. That's so powerful. And if you get passionate about that, you can spread that and that will rub off on others. And that's a leadership quality. You want people that are motivated and inspired by action. So like, just think about it. So you are very motivating. People tell you that, then you inspire other people to take action, right? Those are qualities of leadership. The next one is that you are high and infectious and full of energy. And she said, this is one of the key things that really does separate. Like, if you look at top coaches or high performers on your team, if you look at them compared to some of the other people that aren't performing, you can see a distinct difference in their energy level. So if you go on their page, they're constantly like getting on live video and they're just like, their attitude and their energy is infectious. You can't watch them without getting fired up. So the coaches that are moving forward are doing this. So it's not just like, hey team, now we're going to do la 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 la. No, they are like, all right guys, it's go time. Let's do this. And like, it's just a difference in energy level that she noted in the really top performers in this business. So if you want to be better, get more energy, pump it up a little bit. It's what you do. If you're at a level 75 in energy, your team might match that in half. So if you want your team to be at least 50% energy level, you better be giving it 100%. That what you're going to do, your team will match that at least 50%. The next topic is to be self-motivated and independent. We want that quality. We know what that is. In other words, I know I personally just do it. I don't need anyone to tell me to do it. In other words, my coach told me on day one, you need to hit Success Club every month when I decided to work the business. And I don't need to be told every single month, right? It's just what I want to do because I want to be successful. And I see the top coaches doing that. So we want those people who are self-motivated and driven. We want creative, visionary thinkers. We want somebody like Carl Deichler's that can see the trends that are coming and make changes and adjustments where needed. So he saw probably a few years ago, the trend of online streaming, and he put into motion Beachbody on Demand. And now it's here when it's like all the rage because he saw that. He was able to have vision and see that ahead. So we don't have to look far to see great leadership qualities right within our own business. We want someone that promotes commitment and excellence. So if you're showing up every day, you are promoting commitment. People know they can expect to see your sweaty selfie. They know you worked out today. They don't wonder, is Alicia still doing that beach body thing? No, they know because your page tells them that you are. You want someone that works hard and is generous. You want someone that knows about the what, but they do it for the why. In other words, sure, it's not about the shake and not about the workout, like I said. It's why you do the shake every day and why you do the workout every day that you need to be sharing with people. So when you're talking to people, you got to tell them your why. If you don't tell them their why, they're not going to buy into it. So again, it's not the what, but the why. You need people that are brave and they're not afraid to go first. So have you ever heard the saying, the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack? You set the tone for your team or your future team. You have to be willing to put yourself out there if you want your team to go live. You got to be going live. You got to set the tone. You have to be brave and show them how it's done. You need to challenge status quo and speak up. And that's easier said than done for some people, but these are qualities of great leaders. They're not afraid of what people are going to think if they speak up and stand up for what they believe in, right? We want people that are not going to water down their messages to please everyone. That goes along with the one before that. And we want people that, let me see, this one's hidden for me. Oh, it's not about like the money or the status. We don't want to bring in coaches like that. We want people that believe in our mission to end the trend of obesity, right? So I can give you all these leadership qualities and I can post them in Rebel Empire after this, and I can post them in the New Coach Training Academy, and you can look at them, but it's not about just knowing what those leadership qualities are. Like, you need to sit down and digest these qualities. You need to figure out what you're looking for. This is what Kristina Delgado outlined as like the qualities that she's looking for on her team. Maybe these don't completely align to your vision. So that's okay. Maybe some of these qualities do, but maybe some of them don't. But this will give you a good starting point on what you want to define as things that you are looking for in a coach. So now we know what makes a good coach and a great leader and the kind of leader that we want to attract. But our goal is to attract high quality coaches. So how do we find those people? So again, if you close your eyes and you think, who is my dream coach? What do they look like? What do they do daily? Think about that for a minute. Your dream coach. Okay, you're thinking about that. Okay, I can think, let me describe my dream coach. So he or she, because I have men on my team too, would join my team and show up every single day in Coach Basics. They would automatically be gung-ho out the gate, and they would do their coming out post, and they wouldn't be fearful. They would follow the scripts that they're provided. They would make a list of customers, like 100 right out the gate. They would not need me to give them instructions on how to set up their back office, because they would look it up on YouTube because they're such a go-getter. Like, that is like my ideal coach, right? Guess what? Whatever you have in your mind as your ideal coach, they're out there. Like, that person does exist. Multiple people like that do exist, but you just may not be crafting your posts to speak to them. Therefore, they don't know you exist yet, okay? So your goal is to attract that dream coach that you just thought about. And you know the qualities. You already possess the qualities of a leader. You showed up. You're here. You became a coach, maybe just to get the discount. And somewhere along the line, you said, okay, I'll try this thing. And then you signed up your spouse, and then you signed up your best friend, and you became an emerald. You didn't really even know what that was. And before you know it, your coach is telling you you're a leader, and you're like, what? Like, leader? Huh? I mean, I don't even know what I'm doing here. I felt like that. And you kind of got bit by the Beachbody bug, and you were bit by the business, and you said, I'm doing this thing. And now we're telling you to go lead, right? So there is like a bit of a disconnect in this business, honestly. The people that get to emerald, awesome. The people that get to diamond and above, that's when they really start to take this thing seriously. And other people that are watching you, once they see you get emerald, they're like, their interest is piqued. They see you get diamond and they're like, well, dang, she's really doing something in that business. They don't even know what a diamond is, but it sounds great, right? And then you go star diamond and you're really starting to gain credibility. And now people that have been watching you are really taking you seriously. So that's why rank advancements are important beyond just money and income. It's way more than that. It's about establishing your credibility. It's about developing trust. It's about showing people that you're really in this. I want you to know that every leader like that I can think of right now, and I'm not talking like top 10 coach, I'm just talking about successful people in this business on my team, on other teams, they've all failed. I want you to know they've all failed. They've all set a goal and not hit it and had to restructure their goal, set it for the next week, set it for the next month, whatever. I personally have done the same thing, but they're all currently trying to figure out this topic right here. How do I find quality coaches to join me? They're all trying to do that. Any person that has made it to that point in their business are trying to find quality coaches. So let's get you started early in finding quality coaches. Don't wait so long to start developing your posts and crafting them to that quality coach. So how do you do that? I'm going to give you 3 things. I'm going to show you a different image. Find it. Number 1 is you're going to start crafting your messages. So we have the coaching sneak peeks, right? Here's one that Kristina did. She shared with us. She says, again, you still have to brand yourself. You still have to be speaking to your market. So you can't just take this and copy it because your market isn't her market. But like for her business, her brand is different than her challengers that she's attracting. So yours might be too. For example, Kristina says, I work out just so I can eat whatever I want. I fall off a lot. I have really bad 3-4 days, several times a month, but I know that I can always pick it back up on Monday. That's her coach or her challenger type market. Her business market, though, is completely opposite. She's not lenient in her business market. She's a lawyer. She is like cutthroat. She's looking for people that are, driven, self-motivated, like have that shark mentality. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. So that's completely different than her challenger market. So keep that in mind. Yours might be too. So when she starts crafting posts like this, those are the people that she's talking to. And you'll hear it in a minute when I read this. She says, she starts her post out like, bam, not even going to sugarcoat this. I am looking for the next top coaches of our team. Listen carefully. Our team, not my team, our team. This year is going to be big. Think international expansion, new products, all year long. Our team is growing and leadership is on fire, but we need new leaders. We can't do this alone. We need people who will come in, own it, and start growing their business. I want no excuses, no fear, self-motivated, independent, and CEO-minded people to mentor. Consistency wins in our business, but I'm looking for those that have relentless mindset to win in life. You get it. I don't even need to go on. You see who she's trying to attract, right? She is telling right there within her posts the kind of people she's looking to attract. And maybe someone that's been following her for a while, like reads that and they're like, that's me. I need to message her. Like, I'm that person. I want to be part of whatever she's doing because she's looking for me. She just described me, right? So you are going to describe the people you're looking to attract, and they're going to read your posts, and they're going to say, I need to message Mary Carolyn. I need to message Morgan. I need to message Allison because she's talking about me. Like, I felt like that post was directed at me. But I thought something that was really unique was that she says we don't want to be saying I, and we don't want to be saying my. We want to craft our posts using the words we because we want people to know that when they join us, they're joining a team. They're not just joining you. They're joining our team. They're not just joining me. They're joining our family, and that's what we really want to emulate. So that's the first thing. Craft your message. The second thing is to showcase your leadership skills. And again, this is uncomfortable for some people because, you know, you may not like talking about yourself. And there's a fine line between being cocky and just showcasing your skills. So she did this post, and she talked about being humble with a hint of Kanye, which I thought was really cool. You know, so you have a little bit of swag in your posts, but you're still humble about it. You're not cocky. You're telling people what you bring to the table. In other words, people need to know that you're 100% committed to this, and you're going to take them somewhere. They need to know where your train's going. You've heard me say it before. They're not going to get on the train if they don't know where you're taking them. Are you telling people where you're going? Do they know that Beachbody is it for you? Do they know that you're not going to sign up with the next MLM next month? Like, they have to have that trust in you to sign up with you, to be committed to going all in with you. And in this post, she just talks about, she says, you know, you might read this and say, well, I can't make a post like this because I'm not an elite coach. I don't have that kind of credibility. And she said, guess what? She didn't have elite status forever either. And if she had used that mindset, she never would have become elite, because she never would have attracted the coaches into her business that eventually made her an elite team. So you can't let your lack of success now hold you back. You already need to start talking like you have an elite team. That way, people don't know, guys. They don't know what elite even means. Sorry, kicked me off. So I was showing this picture of Kristina, and I was just saying that you have to tell people where you're going, so that they can join you. And while I got kicked off, Jared reminded me to say that you can't take people somewhere unless you know where you're going. So do you even know where you're going? Do you even know why you're doing this? If you don't, like, we need to back up and we need you to start there, because you can't have people join you, and you won't get people to join you if you don't even know where you're going. The way you talk about yourself and the way that your coach talks about you, you can have them give, you know, posture, and you need to learn how to give posture in your posts. But you want people that are not yet on your team to know without a doubt that they're joining a winning team. In other words, you want to weave these concepts that we've been talking about on that blue screen with all those qualities. You want to weave those qualities into your posts naturally, into your social media. You want to weave them in. You don't want just vomit all that stuff in once, but you want to weave it into your posts. So the last thing I want to show you is that the third part of what she says you need to do is to recognize your team publicly. I don't have that one pulled up yet. Hold on. It's here somewhere. Here it is. Recognize your team publicly. And she really, really, really got to me on this one. She said that something she sees a lot with coaches is that they have a team, and it's not very big. So they fail to do this. They fail to recognize their team publicly because they are afraid that other people are going to look at them and be like, oh, well, she has a small team. But you have to start somewhere. And people want recognition, guys. So every time a coach joins your team, ask their permission first, but make a post about it that you have a new coach, so-and-so has joined your team, and congratulations. And people are going to see that, whoa, her team is growing. And even if they only have 2 Success Club points, shout them out for that, post that, because that means they have touched someone's life. It doesn't matter if they're at SC 25 or SC 2, they have changed someone's life. Recognition is one of the vital behaviors, so we have to be doing this. Let's see what else that she said. Do a coach spotlight every now and again. In other words, so the things that you shout people out for don't just have to be success in the business. They don't just have to be success in weight loss. If one of your coaches on your team runs a marathon, shout them out for that. Tell the world what they just accomplished, or a half marathon or whatever, their first 5K. I remember when Mary Carolyn ran her half marathon last September. Like, I was not only telling the world how proud of her I was, but I was there with her because I wanted people to know that, like, when you join my team, we are a family. We're literally a family. So I wasn't going to miss that for the world. People see that then. They're watching your page. They're watching your posts. They see you showcasing other people, and they want that too. They want to be recognized. Like, they don't go into their job and nobody recognizes them for their hard work. They don't get recognized. So they want to join your team because they're seeing that recognition. If you're not doing recognition, this will really help you get other people to join your team. Recognition, community, love, appreciation, those are basic human needs. Like, it's just part of our DNA. We need that. So naturally, we need to show people we're doing it. So that's kind of a nutshell of what Kristina suggested. So what is our plan of action? How are we going to do that? So here's our plan of action, guys. The first thing we're going to do is establish who we are as coaches. Who are we? Then we're going to establish the kind of leadership qualities that we want to attract. Who is our ideal coach? We have probably already done our customer avatar, but now we want to do our coach avatar. What qualities does our ideal coach have? You want to make a list of key leadership attributes that you want on your team. So I showed you that blue list. I'm going to post it, but I want you to add to it and make it yours. Number 4, I want you to, this one's scary. It's fun, actually. You need to make a list of dream prospects that exhibit leadership attributes. And then you need to hashtag SIUBC. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. So when I say make a list, I'm talking about people that you know right now, that you have said, I want her on my team. I want him on my team. Gosh, he would make an amazing coach. I need him on my team. It might be somebody that you know personally. It might be your aunt. It might be your cousin. It might be someone you don't actually know, but you met them through social media. It might be somebody that you follow on Instagram that has a whole bunch of followers and you're scared shitless to message them. I don't care. I want you to SIUBC. Do you know what that stands for? It stands for Suck It Up, Buttercup. I want you to send them a message. And here's what I want you to tell them. Listen carefully. I want you to send them a message and I want you to talk to them. I want you to empower them. I want you to say, hey, so-and-so, I'm probably way out of my league here, but I am super nervous. I'm going to do it anyway. I know the type of people that I want to do business with. Not that I want to join my team, but the type of people that I want to do business with. I would love to do business with you because, and then you name some qualities that you see in them, those leadership qualities that you want on your team. They have them. You name those. I see blank, 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 blank in you. Would you be open to listening to a business opportunity call on Thursday night at 8 p.m.? That's all you say. That's not that difficult, right? Okay, so the worst they can say is, thank you, I'm flattered, but no thank you, right? They're not going to be rude about it. They're going to say, hey, I already took a look at Beachbody. It's great, but it's just not for me. I've gotten that response before. I really appreciate it. I've gotten, I used to actually be a coach, just not for me. I want to focus on my photography. I've gotten all kinds of responses, but what happens if they're like, well, heck yeah, I'll check it out. And you have been waiting months and months and months and never even asked them. Now, will they definitely join your team? Maybe not. But you have a 0% chance of them joining your team if you don't ask them. And guess what? They might end up on someone else's team if you don't ask them. Because if you see the potential in them, I'm sure somebody else does too. So don't wait to invite them. The 5th thing on here is to keep a healthy balance of fitness, challenge group posts, and coaching leadership posts and sneak peek posts. So if all you do on your page is talk about fitness and challenge groups, don't complain if you're only attracting discount coaches. Listen carefully. I'll say it again. If all you do is talk about fitness and challenge groups and you never talk about anything else. You don't talk about the business opportunity. You don't talk about what coaching has done for you. You don't do coach opportunity calls, then you're never going to attract business builders. You may get lucky and find one or two here and there, but you're just not going to find them because you're not talking to them. So, make a plan. The beginning of the month, maybe all of your posts and all of what you're talking about is structured to be challenger posts. You're trying to attract challengers to fill your challenge group. You're trying to hit SC10. Once you've done that, once you've filled your challenge group, you're going to switch gears. Now all of your posts are going to start being like leadership type posts. You're going to be throwing those words in there. You're going to be talking about who you're looking for. You're going to be talking about your sneak peek that's coming up this week. So if your sneak peek's on Thursday, you might start talking about the sneak peek on Sunday, and then you might post about it again on Tuesday, and then you might post about it again Thursday right before you start. Same thing with challenge group posts. You can post about them Sunday night, Sunday night, Tuesday night, and then maybe a last call Thursday for the following Monday. But you need to have a plan in place. And you can't just do all fitness posts and expect to attract business builders. They think you're great and you're in shape and you do good things, but they don't even know there's a business opportunity behind it because you don't tell them. Be sure you're recognizing your team publicly, like we talked about. And number 7 is that repetition is critical because it builds trust. In other words, when you stop trusting the system, when you stop trusting that all you have to do is the 4 vital behaviors, show up, work out, drink your shake, do your invites, do your personal development, and recognize your team. When you stop doing that, you lose your credibility. In other words, people will start to notice you falling off. And then how are they going to be likely to join your team when they aren't seeing you be consistent, right? They're not going to trust you that you're all in, all in. So again, when you start to hit those rank advancements, when you start to get to diamond and above, that's when other people really see you taking it seriously, and then they really start to tune into what you're talking about. Oh, okay, I see her. She's going somewhere. I might just want to start paying attention to what she's posting about now versus before they just kept scrolling when they saw you, okay? It's just like a muscle in this. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you are not constantly repeating it, it's not going to grow. If you're not telling people about the business opportunity over and over and over again, it's not going to happen. People need to hear it how many times to actually take action. Remember our follow-ups? You have to follow up with someone 5 to 12 times to get them to commit to a challenge group. Guess what? You got to expose them to this business opportunity 5 to 12 times before they're going to take the leap and actually consider it. Something I recommend as I wrap this up is that you should sit down and think about, who do you admire in this business of Beachbody coaching? What coaches? It might be somebody on our team. It might be somebody on Forever Fit. It might be a random coach that you just started following on social media. It might be a top 10 coach. It might be all of the above. Write down some names, okay? Who do you admire? Then I want you to think about why you admire them. What do they bring to the table? What are the qualities about them that you love? And then I want you to go on their page, and I want you to look for those qualities and how they're bringing them out. Scroll their pages. What are they doing in their posts that you could be doing? And remember, we don't want to copy them, but we can get ideas from these people because you admire them. That means they have qualities that you want on your team. You want to position yourself in a place for expansion because we are launching in the UK, guys. We have a huge new market available to us very soon. We need to start making sure you have a like page up and running, that you can be talking to people, that people in the UK can find you. Make sure you're on Instagram. Just start positioning yourself in a place for expansion. Start talking to those people now. They can't join us yet, but they will be able to soon. Get them excited about it. You cannot have a scarcity mindset in this business. You cannot say to yourself, I know that Alicia was successful and I see Melanie being successful, and I see Deidre, but all the good coaches are already taken. If you have that scarcity mindset, you've already lost. Nobody's going to want to join your team because you don't believe they're out there. And if you don't believe they're out there, it's going to come through in your posts. You have to believe that there are tons of people out there that need this business and want to be in this business and want to be on your team. But it's not just saying it. You have to believe that. You have to know we have like an amazing opportunity to offer people. We're not just offering them, again, we're not just offering them a solution to their health and wellness. We're offering them a lifestyle. We're offering them a community. We're offering them all of the above with the opportunity to make an income and an impact. Like, there's not a lot of opportunities where you can get all of that in one package. So let's see if I'm gonna see if so again, know that the people you want on your team are out there. Stop telling yourself that you can't find them, because you're already setting yourself up for failure if you're doing that. Convince yourself that you are a strong and powerful leader and you're getting stronger every single day. Don't just start taking all these tips I gave you and implement them for a week or a month and say, oh, well, nobody joined my team this month, so it didn't work. No, that's not the way it works, guys. You can't just implement these for a week or a month. This is a process and it takes time. Just like when you signed up to be a coach and you were trying to get people to join your challenge group, and again, people didn't come like running from the rooftops necessarily. Like, they had to watch you and sit back and test the waters and see if you were really all in and this really worked. Well, the same thing with coaching. They're watching you, and especially when you start talking to them, this new audience, they're going to take time to develop trust with you. But after you do this consistently for a period of time, you're going to start seeing coaches start coming to you to sign up to be business builders. And you're going to be able to sit back and say, I earned that coach. I earned that badass coach that wants to join my team. I earned them because I have been telling them. I have been posting directly to them, and I have been telling them, they didn't even know it for the last year maybe, that I am trustworthy, that my team is on fire, that we're going places, I'm going somewhere, and they saw it and I earned them. So just know that this will work. I'm really fired up about it. I'm going to sit down and make up my qualities. I'm going to ensure that I'm really, really, really starting to post to the ideal coach that I want on my team versus just the ideal challenger. We got to do both. And I have admittedly lacked in the posting to the ideal coach. I've just focused on the ideal challenger and not the ideal coach. And therefore, I haven't found a ton of business builders, right? But I need to find them. And if you need to find them, then this is the way to do it. 1 in 4 is that's her ratio. That's 25%. What's your ratio right now? Could you improve it to 25%? I would love to improve it. Mine's probably 1%, So I'm going to implement this. I hope you do. Do you guys have any questions for me? I'm going to stop. Okay. So I will post the qualities of leadership. I will post the few slides that I was sharing tonight, and I'll obviously share this recording. So I can't wait to hear more. I hope you're excited to do exactly what I was just talking about, which is really find your tribe and then tell the world so that they want to join your tribe too. All right, guys, have a good night.